Hey guys, welcome to a evening edition of Morning Musings. Glad those of you who are here could join us tonight. Um, the reason I didn't go live this morning was I had some issues with my truck that I had to do some work on, and so I got that out of the way this morning. And I thought I would go ahead and go live tonight, uh, basically to give you guys a few updates and announcements of stuff that's going on right now. Um, But first, I want to give a shout out to our channel sponsors, Gopher Ridge Quail Farm and Hatching Time. As you know, these guys give us hatching eggs from Gopher Ridge to give away here on the channel. And then Hatching Time supplies us with a $50 gift certificate, which we are going to be giving one of those away tonight. Biggest thing is the storm, guys. Everybody, I'm sure, already knows about it, heard about it. Hurricane Helene or whatever it was that just went through, and knock on wood, I got very lucky. Just had some 50 60 mile an hour gusts, hardly anything sustained. I think maybe 30 35 sustained. We did not lose power. I was very surprised because normally when we have winds that are gusting that high, we normally lose power. And I got lucky, also knock on wood. My bees survived the storm. I did strap the hives down with some ratchet straps, and they did just fine. As a matter of fact, I went out and checked on the bees during the day of the storm. I think the winds were pushing like between 30 and gusting to 50. And the bees, believe it or not, were out flying. So, yeah, I mean, it went great. So we had a good I guess we got lucky when it comes to the storm. Unfortunately, a lot of people weren't so lucky. I know a lot of people up in northern Florida right now are basically homeless. Their houses got wiped out by the storm. And also in Georgia, Georgia got hit really bad. I saw somebody posted earlier that over 800,000 people in Georgia are without power right now. And I know North Carolina got it pretty bad. They were saying something about half the state was, I think it was the western half of the state was shut down due to like mudslides and whatnot, closing roads and whatnot. So yeah, it was definitely a lot more of a storm than I expected, because 2 years ago I went through Hurricane Ian, and it was a direct hit here, or pretty close to a direct hit. And, we had 150, 160 mile an hour winds then. And it was pretty bad. I mean, it messed up some stuff, but, we survived that too. So I figured this one wasn't going to be much. But it's just amazing what it did, like I say, up in Georgia and whatnot. I talked to H.P. Murray, one of our sponsors from Gopher Ridge Quail, a little bit earlier, and he was telling me that they got hit pretty good up there. They lost power, and they're not expecting it back for about 4 weeks. I guess one of their power plants up there got hit and knocked it out pretty good. And they got to get the plant going first, obviously, before they can start, going out and fixing power lines to feed the people. So HP Murray's without power for, up to a month, which is, it's terrible. So I did make a post over on the Facebook group about that, keeping HP in our prayers, that they get him taken care of. Luckily, HP's got generators, so I think he's going to be fine that way as far as his birds go and everything in his family. So, yeah, amazing what hurricanes could do. I just would have never thought, I don't know, when I imagine hurricanes hitting Florida, I don't think that outside the state of Florida, people are going to get it that bad, maybe a storm, but not like this. So, yeah. But anyhow, like I said, this morning, I got out about 6:30 this morning, and I was underneath my truck. I did a valve body change out my transmission. I actually did it last week, which is why we weren't live last week, Sunday. And unfortunately, the part that this company sent me was faulty, so I had to redo the entire job. They shipped me out a new valve body, and I put a shift kit in that, and then I installed it this morning. Knock on wood, everything is going good with the truck. So let's see, what do we got going on here? October 8th, we have Bryant's Roost. October 8th is a Tuesday. We have Bryant's Roost. Jennifer Bryant from Bryant's Roost is coming on the show. She's going to be talking about getting started with quail. I get a lot of people that reach out to me wanting basic beginner information. And so I talked to Jennifer, and I thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and do a whole live stream, an hour and a half long live stream, just on getting started with quail, how to avoid some of the mistakes that a lot of newbies make, equipment that's needed and whatnot, where to get hatching eggs from, stuff like that. So if you're a newbie or know any newbies that are getting into quail, let them know. It's October 8th. Like I say, it's Tuesday, and at 7 p.m. we'll be going live with Jennifer Bryant. Let's see what else. We got our Coturnix Kids program. I believe I got a winner selected. I'm going to have to get with my judges over there on the Coturnix Corner channel to see if they selected a winner for this month. I think they did. But anyhow, I'm going to be announcing that Tuesday night. This coming Tuesday, we'll announce the winner of the Coturnix Kids project. One other thing, guys, I posted for any of you that are in Florida, local to me, if anybody has use for a Verado Real 49 incubator with the humidity pump, I've got one for sale. I think a couple weeks ago I actually showed it on the live stream, but it's a good incubator. Verado's top of the line, and they work really well. I just don't need it. I've got so many incubators sitting around right now. I'm basically tripping over them when I go out in my shop. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that Real 49. I'm asking $150 for it. Like I said, it's like new. And anybody that's local that wants to swing by and pick it up, I don't want to ship it, mainly because of the size. But if somebody local wants it, I'll give them a good deal on it. Let's see, what else? Oh, last week, Tuesday, we went live with Allie from Maine's Confetti Quail Farm. And Allie was talking about working backwards. And I had a few people reach out to me after the live stream, and actually before the live stream when we had the thumbnail up, asking me, what on earth is working backwards? What are you guys going to be talking about? Watch that live stream, guys, from last week. It's really interesting. It basically tells you, with all the new mutations, I won't say new mutations, with all the mutations that are out there, and the amount of different genes that are stacked on top of each other, this video will kind of tell you how to work backwards to get back to a clean baseline, whether it be, a Pharaoh or a Fawn or an EB baseline. Allie goes through and kind of explains how that works by breeding back to Pharaoh. Watch the live stream, guys. It's really good. I was actually going to cut out the section where Allie was talking and make just a standalone video for that, and I may still do that if I get a little bit of time here. But that's basically what it is. It's it's not so much on how to clean up a line. It does tell you how you can go about cleaning up a line, but it's more telling you how to break down a line that you may have. Say you've got, a group of birds and you've got all kinds of mixed stuff going on. When you hatch out eggs, you get, 5 of these and 10 of these and, a bunch of different color varieties. It basically tells you how to go about breaking that line down to figure out, okay, I've got my Pharaoh base. I've got, this mutation on it or this pattern modifier on it or whatever else. Basically, it's breaking it down. But like I say, watch that video. It's really interesting. I think that's about it out of me. I do want to say, guys, I'm not going to do a giveaway this week as far as Gopher Ridge hatching eggs. The main reason is HP's got enough on his plate that he's got to deal with right now. And I don't, expect him to, drop what he's doing just to box up, a free box of eggs to give out to somebody in the live stream tonight. But we are going to be giving away a $50 Hatching Time gift certificate. So if you could use that, comment in the comment section over there, Hatching Time or $50, whatever, just so I know that you can use it. I don't want to just give it to somebody that's not going to be able to use it. So, all right, let me jump over in the chat room and see who is all here tonight. I didn't expect very many people tonight, mainly because it's Sunday evening. We don't do a Sunday evening live stream, so nobody really expects us to be going live tonight. All right, Fat Country's in the house, is safe and sound in Tampa, Florida. Glad you're doing okay up there. Andy Rabbit's in the house, says, woohoo. Glad you could join us, Andy. And yes, Andy, I did get that valve body in, and it's working good. It's stiffened up my 1-2 shift a little bit. Before, the truck used to have a really smooth shift, almost like you were riding the clutch going into a shift. Now you can tell there's a shift kit in there because you can really feel it. Twisted Garrett's Farms in the house says, good evening. Patrick Graham is joining us, says, just finished cleaning up. Glad you could join us, Patrick. April says, hello from Iowa. Patrick says, just finished cleaning up in Port Charlotte. Yeah, Port Charlotte actually got it a little bit worse than we did up there. They had, I know there was quite a few tornado warnings. We didn't have any tornado warnings here. And then I think like downtown Punta Gorda was, basically impassable because the roads were all flooded. Let's see. Israel says, hello, friends. Glad you could join us. Gina Klatz in the house says, hello. Glad you could join us, Gina. Israel says, hi, Terry. Hope all is well. Yeah, we're doing fine, Israel. Like I said, the storm didn't really hit us near as bad as Ian a couple of years ago, but, we were ready for it. I had both my generators. I rebuilt the carbs on them, I topped off all the fuel and all the generators into my truck, and plus I had a 5-gallon can and a smaller one filled up with gas just in case. And luckily, I didn't have to use them, so now I got plenty of gas for the lawnmower, I guess. Gina says, hope everyone is safe. Don Skins in the house says, good evening from South Mississippi. Glad you could join us, Don. Anita says, hey guys, glad you could join us, Anita. Child of God's in the house says, good evening. Anita Garrett says, we have friends in Asheville, North Carolina, some of whom haven't been heard from as of yet. Yeah, I know that's kind of scary, especially when they, you see on the news saying that, half the state shut down, no in and out. That is kind of spooky, if you're not hearing from people. But I do know, I don't know about North Carolina, but Georgia, a lot of the cell towers got affected. So a lot of people don't even have cell service up there. So let's see. YouTube user. Hello, all. This is Joy Guthrie from Western Oregon. Hello, Joy. I wonder why I think, Joy, if you want your username and your profile icon to show up, you've got to sign into YouTube for that. Child of God says, please, you and yours are doing okay, praying for those affected. Yeah, it's crazy. I have an aunt who lives up in Tallahassee, and we thought the thing was headed directly towards her. But luckily, it actually stayed a little bit east of her, and she was on the better side of the storm. So she made out okay. Mark says, good evening, Terry, and everyone else as well. Glad you could join us, Mark. Let's see. John's in the house. Thanks, Terry, from Katy, Texas. Glad you could join us, John. Maury Straubel's in the house. Says, good evening, everyone. Glad you could join us, Maury. Hope you're enjoying your night at work. I see Buck Reynolds says, hello, everyone. How you doing, Buck? Child of God says, very understandable about the eggs. Yeah, we can't. I mean, HP actually said that as long as the postal service was running, that he could get eggs out. But I just don't want to, take advantage of that. let him get his stuff straightened out. You know, we're going to be here. The show's not going anywhere, so we'll catch him in the future. 340 Quail Farm says, "Hey everyone, Mount Dora, Florida, checking in. Glad you could join us." Child of God said, "Just recently got a gift certificate, so we'll pass this time." Okay. Okay, we've got a few people saying hello. X Turtle X84. That says hello. Twisted Garrett's Farm says, "Twisted Garrett's Farm is here, hoping everyone affected by the hurricane is okay and well." You know, it's crazy how that hurricane went. It was moving pretty fast. The last that I saw of it, the night of the hurricane, it was making landfall up in the Big Bend area of Florida. And I woke up the next morning and the darn thing was already up past Tennessee. So it was trucking along pretty good. I wonder how the people, if anybody in here is from Tennessee or Kentucky, how did you guys fare? I mean, did you get a ton of rain or a lot of wind or what? Fat Country says, "How's your eggs from HP?" Really good. As a matter of fact, I just pulled the plug on them this afternoon. I think I didn't count them yet, but it looks like I'm a little bit better than 50% hatch rate. I think I had 120 eggs that I set. 100 of them went into lockdown. And out of the 100, I believe I got 60, 65 eggs. Like I said, I didn't count the chicks, but no, it went really good. You know, for shipped eggs, I'll take 50% any day. Alyssa the Noodle says, "Hey guys, hello from Oklahoma. Glad you could join us." Allie's in the house. Confetti Quail says, "Good to see everyone. Hope you all are safe." Glad you could join us, Allie. Roxanne says, "Hello from Ontario, Canada. Just finished up sorting and weighing my 4-week-olds and Sunday night clean out chores, of course." Yep, I know exactly about the chores. You know, it's strange because I've got, well, my brooder is out in my shop, which is not my quail room that you guys are used to seeing. So it looks really weird seeing a brooder out there with chicks in it again. They'll be in my shop until they're ready to go outside, and then I'll probably throw them all out in my aviary while I'm building pens and just grow them out in there, and then I can I can sort them and decide which ones I want to keep as breeders. Twisted Garrett's Farm said, "If there is something we can do to help someone, please let us know." Yeah, a lot of people over on the Coturnix Corner Facebook group commented on the post about HP and, you know, said if there's anything that we can do, please let us know. I did let HP know that, and HP said, you know, we're doing pretty good. Just to let you guys know what's going on. He doesn't have, I don't think he's got internet. He said he had cell service, but it was kind of spotty. So for those of you who are, you know, look for HP online or on, you know, his quail auction or hatching egg auction page, if you don't see him around, that's why. See, Confetti Quail says, "Hopefully people have some hot hands if people are losing power and have babies." Yeah, that is a problem. If you're without power, you know, if you've got incubators going, or like say you got chicks that, you know, need a heat lamp or whatever you're using for heat. Yeah, that is a problem. But the one thing that I always had recommended before was either get like an inverter to where you can use a battery and going through the inverter. Inverters are cheap. You can pick one up in Northern for like $50, and that's like a 200-watt inverter, and that's more than enough to run heat on the chicks or run your incubator. And you can just run it off of a regular car battery. You could actually hook it up to your car and run it off your car, and then fire the car up every now and then just to keep the battery charged up. That's always good to have, just to, you know, in case of emergency, or obviously a generator if you've got one. Quails and Tails says, hi, everyone from North Austin. Glad you could join us. Shane says, good evening from Seals Family Farm in Mount Herman, Louisiana. Glad you could join us, Shane. How did Louisiana probably didn't get a whole lot of weather from that. We got another one out in the Gulf, or actually it's down the Caribbean right now. But they're saying that it's supposed to go into the Gulf and be our next storm late next week. So they are pointing it in the general direction of Louisiana. So keep your eye open on that one. Andy Rabbis has got all the animals fed. It's always a good thing. Shepherd Labrador says, enjoying the channel. Big thanks from Texas. Absolutely. That's a good looking chocolate lab there on your profile pic. X-Turtle says, I'm in Michigan. It wasn't supposed to rain this weekend, but because of the hurricane, we ended up cleaning the garage in the rain. I was wondering, I've got family up in Michigan. I was actually wondering how much of that storm made it to Michigan and how much rain they got out of it. So it's crazy how a storm like that travels all the way across the country. Whales and Tails says, my family's from Ohio, and they are without power. Lots of trees down. See, Ohio, who'd have thunk, you know? Fat Country says, sharing your plans for the outside cages. Absolutely. We are going to be recording it, making videos on putting the cages together. I see Allie's already asking about them on the next thing, but yes, we will be doing videos and, sharing them on the channel. As far as my plans for the outdoor pens, I haven't had a chance to sit down and start drawing them up. Like I said, the biggest thing was getting my truck going again, and knock on wood, thank God it's going. Me and my wife went for a ride today, took a little cruise, and it did fine. So Quail and Tail says, I came in late. What's up with HP? HP got pretty much devastated by that hurricane. A lot of people in Georgia did. Right now, I talked to HP earlier. He said he is without power for up to 4 weeks. So he might be looking at a month with no power. I guess what happened was the main power plant in his area got knocked out, and it's going to be a while for them to get that going. And then they've got to go around and get all the urban areas, hooked back up in the rural areas and whatnot. So Andy Rabbit said, how's the truck? It's running, Andy. Oh, I'm so happy it's working. Quails and Tails says, hi, Shane. Okay. All right. Wow. This may be a short live tonight. Actually, it's a good idea that it is a short live because I still have a few things I want to do out in the shop tonight. But that brings us down to the bottom of the list. Who in here wants a $50 gift certificate from Hatching Time? Comment real quick if you want the gift certificate. If you've already got one, let's a few people that have never won the gift certificates, let's go ahead and give it away to one of them. Yeah, I'm trying to think of if there's anything else that I really need to let you guys know. Does it only apply for the U.S.? I'm going to have to talk to Hatching Time. I know they ship United States and Canada, but I think they ship Canada, but I'm not sure about, across the pond, the UK and whatnot. So let me talk with them and find out, because you're not the first person to ask that. So let's see where PT Jeff says, I've got a 9-week-old hen that started laying daily, then stopped. I put lights in the run. Yeah, I mean, it's weird that she started and then stopped laying. It could be for, multiple reasons besides daylight hours. Could be she got stressed. Are there any animals, that can get near the cage? I don't know if you said it was outside or not, but like a neighborhood cat or dog can stress the birds out enough to take them off lay. Any changes that you've done besides adding the lights that could have, just thrown her schedule off, it might, cause them to stop laying. I would go ahead and leave the lights on, give them 14 to 16 hours of daylight, and just give her a few weeks to, get used to that. Maybe she'll pick up and start laying again. But the biggest thing is look and see if you've got any type of predators or any stressful situations that she might be getting into. All right, where are we? Okay, I lost my spot here. All right, Alyssa, we're going to go ahead and give you the gift certificate. Alyssa, if you want to email me at terry@coturnixcorner.com, I'm going to go ahead and put my email in there. Why can't I can never spell Coturnix when I'm typing. Send me your information. I need, I definitely need a good email address from you, but go ahead and give me your shipping address and a phone number. I'll forward that on to Hatching Time. And where are you going, Cookie? Come on, go to the lay down. And what they do is they email you the gift certificate. So keep an eye on your email, and I will, like I say, I'll make sure I get that over to them first thing in the morning. Gator Farms in the house says, just getting here. What did I miss? Just kidding. I'll watch back from the beginning after the live. You didn't miss a whole lot. A few announcements. Talked a little bit about the storm and the people that were affected. One of the people, there you commented, anybody heard from HP? Yes, I did hear from HP. He is without power for up to 4 weeks. They got hit pretty hard up there. I guess the power plant there was taken out of commission, and so he's going to be without power. I don't think he has internet, but he does have cell service or spotty cell service. So he'll be checking in online. I wouldn't imagine a whole lot, but maybe a couple times a day, just to maybe answer messages or whatever, something like that. So, all right. Shepherd Labrador says, is $14.25 a good price for 28%, 50 pounds? If it's a decent feed, yeah, $14.25 is a really good price for 50 pounds. I just paid $22.50 or $24.50 for 40 pounds of game bird starter. I had to buy it because I had chicks that just hatched out, and I had to feed them, so I had to spend the money. Normally, the feed that I buy, the feed store was out of it, so I ended up having to go with different. Well, it looks like I got it already, Alyssa. Cool. Like I say, I will get that over to Hatching Time in the morning, and you'll most likely have your gift certificate sometime tomorrow. But yeah, if you're getting $14.25, it's a decent feed. That's a really good price. Gator Farms as well. I'll be praying for them and all affected. Yeah, there's a lot of people. Hopefully a lot of people that didn't have, a lot of damage, but still there's a lot of people in Georgia and I imagine elsewhere that are without power. And you never realize how much you miss power until you don't have it. Last year, or not last year, year before, when Ian came through, we lost power for 2 weeks and it was terrible. Even though I had a generator, it still stunk because one, I had to get up in the middle of the night, gas the generator up. I had to listen to the generator all night long, but it kept my refrigerator going, kept the air conditioner on, lights on and whatnot. So yeah, being without power, even if you don't have damage, being without power is punishment enough. Okay, I think, guys, that's about it. Coils and Tails says in Texas they pay $21.50 for 50 pounds. Yeah, that's about right. All right, guys, unless you guys have something else that you want to talk about, I'll give it a couple more minutes, see if we get any more comments in there. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and pull the plug and probably go sit down and watch a movie. I'm still nursing a backache from laying on the concrete under my truck all morning. I actually got started early. I got up at like 5:30, and by 6:30, I was under my truck and putting the new valve body in. Roxanne says $33.48. I'm paying for 55 pounds of game bird feed here in Ontario. It's kind of pricey. Yeah, I think I want to say I'm paying $28 for a 50-pound bag of Kalmbach game bird starter. But like I said, they were out of Kalmbach this week, so I ended up having to get Purina game bird starter. I really don't like it, but it'll grow the chicks out, you know. And it's weird, guys, after being without quail for over a year and a half now, to have chicks hatching out again. I've got my hatching time incubator right here. Bryant's Roost also sent me some eggs, and we went ahead and put them in the hatching time incubator. So I'm going to have more chicks than I know what to do with once everything gets hatched out. But it's nice to be back. I kind of missed it, but it's nice to be, you know, back in keeping quail again. Like I say, I'm just going to have to figure out what I can do outside to keep the birds, you know, safe from predators, keep them cool enough, you know, so they're not in the heat or the sun. Let's see. Tater Farm says, thank you so much, Terry. I'll go back and watch your show. Praying your back feels better. You're about to have a lot of birds to tend. Yeah, well, I'm really good at culling, and I do cull pretty heavily. I'm not going to feed birds that aren't going to, you know, help my operation out. But I did when I was up in Michigan, we did a live stream from West Michigan Quail, and he's got a really nice setup. And I'm almost tempted to try to do something like that, but I don't know yet, because basically it's putting me right back in the same position I was before. Having birds indoors is what caused the issues. Well, I was having like not really breathing issues, but it was my throat was always raw. I always had this phlegm feeling in my chest. I couldn't stand that. Plus, my wife's got COPD, and I really didn't want to expose her to the dust and dander, and so that's why that's why I'm opting to put them outside. I kind of like Allie from Maine's Confetti Quail Farm setup. I don't have the room that she does, but if I could, you know, build a couple hutches like that, that would probably do me good. Bugala says, can you talk about why you left the hobby before? Well, I didn't leave the hobby. I just got rid of my quail. And the reason for that is what I just said, that we had all my birds were kept indoors on an enclosed carport, which is part of the roof that's over my house. And I had like 500 birds out there, between 300 and 500. And it got to where the dust and dander was starting to get into the house. It was so thick out in my shop, is what I call my quail room, that I would walk out there and I would get short of breath. So I thought, you know, I'm going to get rid of all the birds and pressure wash everything. I actually gutted my shop, tore all the walls apart, hung new insulation, new drywall. And you would not believe the amount of dust and dander that was behind the drywall. I have no idea how it could have possibly gotten in there. But when I pulled the drywall down and started pulling insulation out, that dust and dander was going everywhere. I mean, it was terrible. So, yeah, that's why I got rid of the quail, with the plans of building cages outside and getting quail again. And it just took so long. I mean, I had a lot of other projects going on. I got bees out back now, working in my garden, and it just took me a long time to actually do it. So we're back doing it now. Andy Rabbit says, I think I pay $18, 50-pound bag of starter, but that feed store just closed, so I have to find something new. $18 is good for a 50-pound bag. Patrick says we lost the house in Ian. Now just getting back to having bees, chicken, and quail. Also feels good to get back in the swing. Yeah, I hear you. I love my bees. I mean, they are so cool. I can go out there uh, probably 95% of the time. I can walk all around my hives, go through them. I'm not getting in the hives, but walk around them in shorts and a t-shirt, and they don't even pay no attention to me. And they're pretty calm. When you get in the hives, they're not real aggressive unless you start squashing bees. Then they sometimes get grumpy. But other than that, yeah, I love it. I had chickens too, but when I went to Michigan, I had the Rhode Island Reds, and I actually had to give them to a friend of mine because my wife was afraid of the rooster, and she said she wasn't going to feed him while I was gone. So I gave him to a buddy of mine. Tater Farm says your BIL has really nice air. Oh, your brother-in-law has a really nice air circulation system. Maybe that would help. Yeah, well, I mean, I did too. Even in my shop, I had a big fan, 24-inch exhaust fan. The problem was it wasn't drawing enough out. I had plenty of air coming in, plenty of air drawing out. But like I say, it's probably a almost 7-year period, 6.5, 7 years of dust and dander. And I kept my shop pretty clean. I mean, I pulled cages. I swept and mopped all the time. I pulled the cages out probably once a month away from the walls, and I would actually mop the walls down. That dust and dander, it moves around somehow and gets in there. And I just noticed, that over time I was having issues breathing. So I thought, you know what, I'll move them outside. And my wife, you got to cater to the wife. Roxanne says, Purina is all I can get here locally. I'm by the U.S.-Canada border, Blue Water Bridge border. Don't know where that is. Might be worth to make a trip stateside and load up. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice if you could just, drive in, load up on a bunch of feed and get it back home. But don't they usually hit you with some fees for bringing it back into Canada? What do they call that? Can't even think of it. Oh, Michigan. Sorry, left that out. Okay. Andy Rabbit says, I can imagine the dust. It can build up fast. Yes, it does. I was actually getting there the last few months when I started noticing it. I was wearing an N95 mask just when I'd go out cleaning cages and trays and whatnot. I probably should have been doing that from the beginning, and it might not have bothered me like it did. But yeah, no, we made out all right. Like I said, I kind of like the idea of having them out back because I want to set it up to where the cages will be have a self-composter underneath it. Black soldier fly around here are prevalent, so once the manure starts building up, they'll get the black soldier fly larvae in there, and they'll take care of that. Plus that, the compost is really good for the gardens. So I'm looking forward to that. Benjamin's in the house, says, hello from Oregon. Glad you could join us, Benjamin. All right, guys. We are down to the bottom of our list. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the plug on it. We've been here 40 minutes. I do want to say, if you are around Tuesday, actually, let me look at the calendar real quick, because I said on Tuesdays that when I have a guest, we'll be going live. Tuesday, that's going to be October 1st. I'm going to see if I can't get a guest to come on live with me Tuesday. We do have, like I said, we do have a guest for the 8th, Jennifer Bryant from Bryant's Roost. But if I can get somebody to come on this Tuesday, I will. Otherwise, I might take Tuesday off and just announce the Coturnix Kids winner the following week. Okay. Andy Rabbit says, Black Soldier Fly work hard for me. Yes, they work really good. Homestead Matter, Teehee last minute. Howdy. Prayers for those affected by the hurricane. Yep. Well, I'm glad you could join us. And yeah, definitely, guys, keep the people up in Georgia, North Carolina, all that area up there. They got hit pretty hard. A lot of people are without power. A lot of people are homeless right now. Like I said earlier, the whole western side of North Carolina is shut down due to, I guess, due to landslides and stuff blocking their roads. So let's see. Benjamin says $22 for starter, up to $35. Yeah, I can believe it. Feed's not cheap. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and pull the plug on this. I got our giveaway taken care of. Like I said, for those of you who just joined us, we're not doing the hatching egg giveaways probably for a few weeks now. I got to wait until, HP gets his situation up there in Georgia straightened out. I don't want him to have to worry about, shipping hatching eggs, especially with, no power, having to run off of a generator. I'm sure he's going to have enough of a headache just doing that. So, all right, guys, have a great night. If I do find a guest for Tuesday, I will go ahead and post it over in the Coturnix group, Coturnix Corner Facebook group, and also in the Coturnix Corner community. So watch for that. If you don't see anything and I don't go live Tuesday, that'll be why. Otherwise, join us next week, Sunday morning at 9 a.m. for the morning musings. And then on the following Tuesday, which will be the 8th, for Jennifer Bryant from Bryant's Roost. All right, guys, have a great night, and we'll see you, if not Tuesday, Sunday.